Okay, welcome everyone to the deep dive. This is where we take those sources, you send us articles, reports, and we try to cut through the noise, get right to the important stuff. Today you're digging into a topic that, well, it sits right at the intersection of national security and domestic policy. We're looking at the National Guard and their evolving role,
Hmm.
specifically regarding immigration enforcement.
That's right. And we're basing this on one particular article that came our way. It argues pretty strongly, actually, that there's a significant shift happening in how the Guard is reportedly being used here. It suggests our kind of standard understanding might be outdated.
Exactly. So our mission today is really to unpack this source, understand the main shift it's talking about, and pull out the key details, the examples it uses, because it does seem to challenge maybe the common perception of what the Guard usually does in these border or immigration situations.
Yeah, the article sort of sets the stage by reminding us how it used to be or how it's often presented. Traditionally, their role was framed as, well, purely support.
Right.
Logistics, transport, maybe building things, surveillance support, but from a distance.
Hmm.
Basically, freeing up civilian law enforcement or border patrol to do the direct enforcement.
Right. That's the background the source gives. And then it pivots. It points to what it calls a real departure from that, moving beyond just that background help.
Yeah.
It talks about a different kind of involvement. Some of the article seems to frame as, well, maybe more direct, closer to the enforcement side of things.
And what's really interesting is how it illustrates this, according to the article anyway. It uses specific examples. It mentions actions reportedly taking place in different locations, including quite a bit about deployments and activities in places like Los Angeles.
Okay, Los Angeles. So what does this source say is happening there? How does it describe this more direct involvement? It's not just driving trucks then.
No. The article gets into specifics. It describes Guard personnel reportedly involved in, say, setting up checkpoints, manning them, but away from the immediate border area.
Okay, inland checkpoints.
Yeah, and participating in surveillance that, directly helps track people, maybe even assisting with processing individuals or initial detention further inland. The source really contrasts this with that older model, infrastructure or just watching from afar, no direct interaction.
Okay, so the article's bottom line seems to be, look, the Guard isn't just doing construction or driving anymore in these scenarios. It's describing alleged involvement in things that, well, they feel closer to what traditional law enforcement or immigration agents do, like interacting with people or running checkpoints.
Precisely. That's how the source sees it. As a significant expansion of what they're doing on the ground. It suggests this kind of blurs the lines, between military support and civilian law enforcement jobs when it comes to immigration. The article stresses that even if it's called support, the kind of support has, according to their reporting, fundamentally changed. It's more active, more integrated into the actual enforcement side.
Right. And it uses those examples like the reported actions in LA and other places as the kind of concrete evidence for this shift, moving away from that old logistical role towards something, well, potentially more hands-on like checkpoints or helping with processing.
That really is the core finding the source puts forward. It's presenting this analysis so that when you hear about the National Guard and immigration now, you understand, based on this reporting, it might mean something different than it used to.
And that's really what we aim to do in this deep dive for you. Just give you a quick, clear way to get the gist of this reported shift, all based directly on the analysis and the examples in the source material you shared with us. We've pulled out those key points the article makes to argue the Guard's role is reportedly entering a new phase.
Yeah, and this reported change, the details the source uses, it leads us to a final thought, something for you to chew on. If the Guard's role is evolving, like this article describes, becoming more involved in, say, operational support, like checkpoints, assisting with processing, well, what could that shift signify? Not just for immigration enforcement itself, maybe, but also for how we think about using domestic military forces more broadly, in roles that maybe weren't seen as traditional for them before. Definitely something to consider as you think about this information.